Hey guys, this is your girl SolieSims and welcome back to my channel. And as usual, I will preface this by saying it is hot as hell today and I have a fan going in the background. So if you do hear the noise, it is just a fan. And I'm so glad to be back at the building. I took a break for a while simply because I was developing this idea that I had for a blog. And you know how sometimes when you start doing something creative, lots of other little creative ideas pop up, right? And I found that although I do try, or rather I did try to do my Let's Plays on my channel, for some reason I could never stick to it as much as I would have liked. And so I decided that I'm going to try to bring it into a blog format, story format, and I feel like I have been really engrossed in it. So much so that this build is actually inspired by that. One of my blogs that I have ongoing is called The Still Life of Rio Palmer, and it's just about this young sim, not exactly fresh out of college, but she's moved away from the city. She recently left college of maybe like let's say a year-ish or so, and she's been rooming with her best friend in the city, but she decided that she does want to start a new and different life for her. We don't know quite yet what it was she was running from and why she decided to move to San Myshuno. She bought a little rundown house, well, not completely rundown, it was just just there, kind of bare and nothing too much going on. She furnished it meagerly with what she had, and she's a freelance artist, etc. And one of the things about Rio that I can't say I admire it, right? Because I've seen her develop into a sim I have strong feelings about, because of course I cultivated that dream of for her coming into reality. And I can see a lot of some of the things that I went through during my younger years shining in from her, and make me relate to her a lot. There's talks about her different types of insecurities, etc. Anyway, this is not about my blog. This is about this build. Now, Rio's mom is she's a holistic type of sim, and she likes everything nature, and she loves plants, and she loves gardening. I think she would absolutely love this garden center that we're creating her today, simply because she's always pushing Rio to start a garden. Her yard is bare, so she wanted to start a garden. They're always out looking for different places to go shopping for different things, and I find that sometimes trying to get the stuff that I want in the gallery is just not working for me, in that some of the items that the lots that I want to have Rio interact with, or her friends and family interact with, we don't have that many options in game. And so I decided to build this garden center out in Oasis Springs. I just wanted something a little bit different, a little bit of like a desert type feel, because it's not so much so I don't want Rio to focus on gardening per se, like with actual plants she has to tend for. I want it to be like artificial, plants and shrubs, etc., that she can just like decorative, I should say, not artificial, decorative plants. And so I decided this would be a perfect spot for it. I mean, yeah, of course, like I said, it is more desert friendly plants, but there are some that are not, that are just regular, and I feel like would kind of suit her style a bit. So I decided to come to create this. Now, this was my very first build with the glass walls. I had to Google how to find them, guys. I didn't know, because I haven't been building, like I said, in a bit, so I didn't know where to. I say I know that we have glass walls now, but where do I even find that? So here we are. So I made it so there's like one open space, and then there is the greenhouse part of it, which is the enclosed glass space, and of course there is outside plants as well. There's areas for not so much the plants, more like mini trees on the outside as well, but we'll get to that eventually. And because it is a desert world, of course I wanted to make it have the desert feel with all the cacti and all of these other little dry shrubbery, etc. But I also wanted to make it look a little bit like it's a lush type of place. Like, this is definitely like, wouldn't you guys want to go to a garden center in the desert after seeing how the landscaping is? Like, it's full of greenery, there's flowering plants and some lushness about the place. I mean, you would want to go there. Now, initially, and I completely forgot this again, guys, that when you have a sim on the lot, it is stuck at whatever lot type that you're doing. You cannot change it from like a residential to a retail, which is what I didn't think of originally, which is why there is a mailbox in the middle of the build. But I do eventually move my sim over to the next lot and come back in to build in a freer way, I guess you could say, just because well, it needed to be done. I mean, I wanted it to be a retail lot, so that's what it is. And it's quite reasonable, I will add as well. It is only about 45,000 simoleons for the whole lot. And I do have some more expensive plants and then some more reasonable plants as well. This is of course the garden area in the front, where they probably do some type of seasonal plants, or maybe these are some of the more quicker growing plants that are fast sellers or best sellers. So of course they had to go and make their little garden out in the front, and this is where they would cultivate that style. As for the exterior, the landscaping, it's pretty bare bones. Actually wanted to add a little bit more rocks and raise the ground a little bit where the tree is, but then I don't know, I felt like it wouldn't have fit properly for me. So I decided to just leave it kind of open, like an open garden type of space. If anyone else wants to do something else, they can feel free. I mean, at the point of downloading it is your lot. You can do whatever you want with it. I did add a fountain feature, just to have some type of water feature on there, and also to just make it so that if a sim wants to sit outside, they can do that as well. I went with a very rustic feel inside. I believe it is much of an open space, but it also feels very rustic, and I absolutely love it. So I used some of the counters from the horseradish pack, and there is of course one bathroom, so Sims are probably going to be fighting for use of that bathroom, but whatever, they will have to deal with that. And I kind of wanted the serving area to be rounded, so it's like you can walk around the whole space and be attended to by somebody. I really wanted to add in a little bit of a fence to put a gate on properly, to just separate the space from just anybody coming in. And I imagine when you actually own the place, you can also just put it so that employees only can go in and out of there. I had my sim playtest this area just with some of her friends, and they all wanted to come into that small area there. I don't know why they all wanted to come into there. It was weird, but they like the space. They interacted with it very well. It was not, of course, as a retail lot. I just made them go in just to make sure that there was traffic flow going around very well, and it was. I do use a lot of CC because the CC plants are just so good. I mean, the decorations for them, it's just so good. I absolutely loved it. So the way I separated this is that there are smaller decorative plants for like things like desks and maybe shelves, etc. towards the front, things like pots and hoses and baskets, etc. I ended up putting to the back shelf. I also did leave some of the shelves bare, just in the event that there is anything particular that anybody would want to add to it. Instead of having to delete, they can either choose to just switch around the shelves to wherever suits them and add whatever it is they want to add to that as well. So they do have that option. And yeah, so I had some of like the very large pots, potted plants. I put them in the lower shelf, of course, and then some flowering plants towards the top of the shelves. I also added in some books. So I imagine the books are things like gardening books, like maybe the gardening volume books, as well as things like the gardening books, as well as, well, I guess just that, plants and stuff like that, different types of things. It's off to the side, you will see it eventually. We do come around to it. And I just wanted to make the cashiers area seem a little bit more, well, customer friendly. So I did put in things like a notepad, probably to take down notes or customer orders or whatever it is, and of course pens, pencils, etc. And I imagine that they do also do flower arranging here as well, or flower clippings and stuff. So I had this bit of CC that I added in that allows that function without it being a whole the whole table. So that is there. Eventually you will see I put it towards the end, and I put a stool in front of it. The stool I have to take off, rather I did take off to when I was actually playtesting, because although my Sims did sit on it, if you want to use it for actual gameplay, like the flower arranging part, you would have to take it out, because it would be blocking the end that you know, access to that functionality. But otherwise I felt it was nice. I felt it was nice to just put that stool there, so it can be either decorative or functional. I mean the flower arranging mat, I guess you could say, if you so desire. And of course I put down some, these are artist rolls, like canvas rolls, but I felt like it could be like wrapping paper maybe for gifts and stuff, or like for plants etc. So, or wrapping up like more delicate like the ceramic bowls and stuff. So we did that. I did sometimes think that I wanted to have like flower arrangements in here, and I thought, no, this is like, I know garden centers sometimes sell these things, but I wanted it to be purely like bigger, heartier, sturdier plants than anything soft and delicate, like some decorative things to put on your porch and stuff, not necessarily things that you would want to like do the, I want to say the interior of your house, but like I don't know, but I'm sure you guys know what it is I'm trying to say, that I'm struggling to say right now. So pretty much, yeah, that was how I did the interior hair. There is when we do get around to the greenhouse area, it is just, I wanted to put in things like fruit bearing plants that are also decorative, but we can also say these are probably places where you can get like orange trees and tangerines, maybe limes or lemons or whatever it is, and some berry bushes as well. Maybe we can do some like stunted ones, you know, the mini ones that just stay small and they bear fruit, or it could be a case where they're just smaller plants that are going to eventually grow into something bigger. I just thought of like, you know, different things. And I did put a walkway heading out of the greenhouse to go towards the back, where you will get access to the bigger plants that I could not just fit in here. So I mean, we do have those two things as options. So I mean, you know, at the end of the day, that's what it was. I'm not going to go ahead and talk throughout the whole video, although I mean, I'm not even that far off from it. It's like only 5 more minutes of talking if I think about it. So maybe I can just go ahead and do that. But maybe I will tell you more about some of my other ideas that I have going on for the blog. And I would really appreciate it if you guys gave me a little bit of support, a follow. I will be linking it in the description, of course. I do have a story that I started on here, rather it was a playthrough that I started on here called is the Lunar Legacy. So I have moved that onto the blog. So far I've just rewritten the first episode that I have done. That one comes out later, a little bit later this year. So I just rewrote the first one kind of to get into the groove for it and have a better idea of planning out how I actually want the story to go. And I feel like I just do a better job of doing it that way, opposed to doing it on the screen. I don't know why it's so much easier for me. And I've also started the Carter Banks legacy or dynasty or whatever it is you want to call it. It's basically this blended family with Malik and his wife Celine. They've both been married before. They both have children from their previous marriages. They don't have any children together as yet, and they all live in one house in Copperdale. And Celine is a doctor, and Malik is a stay-at-home dad, but he's also a chef, so he is planning on opening his own restaurant right now. So things are a little bit tense. There's a lot of drama going on with Celine's ex-husband and the children, and Malik's mom Ruby also lives with them, so that makes things a little bit interesting. And she's from the island. She's kind of like a no-nonsense type of person, and but also nosy, and a little bit, she likes to interfere in things a lot that don't really concern her. But so we have that one going on as well. I have a special that is just going to be coming out for Halloween, so I'm hoping that I can have it up by October. I've only just started outlining what I want to do with it, or how I want the story to go, but I don't know yet how I see it coming out. But probably I can do the bills for that and post it up on YouTube. We will see how that goes. Now, everything that I have been saying so far in regards to the Rio story comes out every single week on a Sunday at 10 a.m. Rio story is released, and for the Carter Blanks it's at least once a month. But I do have some pop-up stories in between. Sometimes whilst I'm playing, something might happen, and I want to feed off of that type of energy that they have going on. So I will do a pop-up story from whoever's perspective of what it is that happened. And yeah, so far that is it. I have 3 things cooking in the background. And just to reiterate, it's Rio story. It's the still life of Rio Palmer. It is the Carter Banks. It's like a blended sort of family dynamic thing. And then there is the Lunar Legacy with Wanda and Mateo, and their kid. So I'm trying to bring all of that in. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I rambled so much about my other projects, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again guys in the next one. Goodbye.